Hi there, this is the story of NIO. Right now, the market cap is about 10 billion. And the stock price went up from $3.50 in recent days, in recent months, to over close to $5, $4.83. Now, the most important question is whether NIO right now, at the current market cap of 10 billion, is a great investment or not. And the answer, you will find it in this box. During this video, I'll open the box and we'll find whether NIO is a great investment right now at the price close to $5 per share. Now, to understand the answer from that box, you also have to understand what it did in the past and why the stock price went up quite a lot in recent months, a nice return. First, if you look at the revenue over the last 3 years, you'll see a nice growth rate from 7.1 billion in 2022 to 7.8 billion and then 9 billion in 2024. Then an important indicator is their earnings. Do they have some earnings? Ask that question. No, because they are at the beginning. They are growing fast. So 22 a loss of 2 billion, 23 a loss of close to 3 billion, 2.9 billion, and a loss of 3.1 billion for 2024. So they really have to become profitable. Do you know why? Because if they don't become profitable, guess who will pay for the losses? Ask that question. Who will pay for the losses? The answer is you. Investors, shareholders who buy this company, NIO. If you look at the number of shares over the years, it has increased from 1.6 billion 2022 to over 2 billion 2024. So you have to be very careful here, because if they don't become profitable, that will be a problem for shareholders. For the company, no, they will survive. Because if you look at their balance sheet, they have cash close to 4 billion and also debt 6.6 billion. Now, you have to be aware of their debt because it's quite high and this is a risk. You have to be aware of it. And then you look at the most important indicator to assess whether NIO is a great investment or not. And this is quite good. If you look at the number of deliveries over the last 3 years, it has increased 2022 from 122k, 160k, 2024, 220k. And more recently, they reported the results for Q2 2025. They announced 72k in the number of deliveries, an increase year over year over 25%. And this is high growth, which contributed to the increase in the stock price. So if they deliver per quarter 72k, for the full year, the number of deliveries might reach 288k or 88,000. Maybe even more if they have good tailwinds, 300k. And if that happens, of course, the stock price will increase even more because the market sees there is demand for their cars. And as you probably know, NIO makes money. I mean, most of the revenue comes from vehicle sales. And they have 3 brands: NIO, Onvo, and Firefly. Now, based on the number of deliveries, the percentages are like this: 58% NIO brand, 25% Onvo, which is quite nice, it has increased quite a lot, and Firefly 15%. And more recently, they announced new models, especially for Onvo, which contributed to the increase in the stock price. So you have 2 things that push the stock price higher: an increase in the number of deliveries and new models, here and here. But this is not all. The stock price, let's be clear, NIO is a company from China. You have to understand this, because if you don't understand this, you might lose some China, right? And if you look at all Chinese companies in recent months, was something like this: they went up, then down, and then up again. All Chinese companies follow this pattern because they are ETFs, they are funds that invest in Chinese stocks. And this was another driver for the increase in the stock price. China signed an agreement with the US and now have better relationships than the past, but there is still that geopolitical risk. You have to be aware of that because when you hear bad news between the US and China, NIO will be affected. Now, is NIO a great buy at the current market cap? Well, if you look at the balance sheet, they don't have anything. Subtract debt from the cash, they are left with minus, right? What it matters is their future growth, revenue, and number of deliveries. And of course, to become profitable, to deliver some positive earnings in the next 5 to 10 years. Now, can you rely on NIO that they will become profitable? Because you see, revenue went up, but also their losses have increased. And can you rely on NIO that they will become profitable in the next 5 to 10 years? As a question. Because it's important. If they don't become profitable, your investment won't do well. Now, my prediction is the number of deliveries for sure will increase more in the next years. For sure, it will increase. Also, the revenue, it will increase for sure. But the earnings here, I'm not sure if they are able to become profitable. I mean, let's say for full year they deliver 300k. To see some profits, you have to see at least 1 million in the number of deliveries. Can this happen? There are chances. But again, you don't know for sure how much they will make in profits at this size of 1 million number of deliveries. 1 billion, 2 billion. If they make 2 billion and they also continue to grow or at least maintain their market share, yes, you may have more than a double from this level. But if they don't become profitable because of competition, price war between the other companies, BYD, Tesla, that will be quite tough. And I don't see NIO in that environment as a great investment. I mean, if you want a margin of safety from this company, right now is not the right time to invest in NIO. You better demand a higher margin of safety. The market cap to go to 5 billion. And that happened. The past happened. So it's all about the earnings and market share, how much they can deliver. I mean, from their perspective, they can deliver a lot. But question, will consumers choose to buy a NIO car or Onvo or Firefly? Ask that question. If you see more people willing to buy their brands, then yes, NIO will be a winner, a clear winner. If you don't see that, ask your friends. Will they buy a NIO car, Onvo, or Firefly? Ask your friends or other people. I personally won't buy a NIO car. So, to open the box, whether NIO is a great investment right now, and I hope you understand the answer. The answer is no, because of the risk from their earnings and market share, especially the competition. NIO is not a great investment right now, especially as the stock price and market cap went up so high. Now, if you want better investment ideas, low risk, high returns, and stop losing money, you can simply go to my profile, press join, and there you have access to my portfolio. See every transaction I do, where I invest in great businesses with low risk and high returns. Plus, they have a margin of safety. And the reward is like this, more than 2x, but with low risk. So it's up to you. If you want to stop losing your money and have high returns, join my membership. And if you have other questions about NIO, please let me know in the comments.